Alright guys, so today we are talking about my top 5 favorite books. I have many, but these are some books that I keep going back to. So let's get started. So first up we have this book. It's called Who Will Cry When You Die by Robin Sharma. It's a scary little title, but this book is really lovely. It's a book basically about good habits. He talks about a lot of things that one can do to improve their lives, to have better health, to have more wealth, to be more loving and happier in life. This is something that I keep going back to. He's divided the book into multiple chapters which are like probably 1 or 2 pages long. Things like stop complaining and start living, look for the higher meaning of your work, enjoy the path, not just the reward. So very simple, basic things that we all know about, but we forget to do them in our lives. This is one of the reasons why I keep going back to this book, is because you need a constant reminder of what one should do to have a better life. Next up we have this book. It's a very small little thin book. It's called The Words of Theodore Roosevelt, the President of the United States. This book has a lot of his quotes which are really, really nice, and this book happened to give me my most favorite quote ever. It's an amazing quote. In fact, I remember when I first read it, I did something in my sketchbook about it. So this right here is the sketch that I did, and I wrote the quote next to it. Let me read the quote for you guys. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes short again and again, who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, and spends himself in a worthy cause, who at best knows in the end the triumphs of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat. What an amazing quote. Next up we have Paulo Coelho. This book is called Manual of the Warrior of Light. Paulo Coelho writes beautifully. He's written a lot of inspiring books. He also wrote The Alchemist. Of all his books, this is my favorite. It's beautifully written. It's got some amazing lines. Let me read some out for you. So this is what I do actually. When I read, and if I find something that I really love, I actually just mark it. A warrior of light often loses heart. He believes that nothing can stir in him the emotion he so desired. He is forced to spend many evenings and nights feeling that he is one of the vanquished, and nothing seems able to restore his enthusiasm. His friends say, perhaps his fight is over. The warrior feels pain and confusion when he hears such remarks, because he knows that he has not yet reached the place he wanted to reach. But he is stubborn and refuses to relinquish his aims. Then, when he least expects it, a new door opens. That's beautiful, isn't it? Next up, Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. This book is basically about creativity. She talks about how every human being on this planet is a creative being, and how everyone has some kind of talent that they should explore. Let me read something for you guys from here. Not expressing creativity turns people crazy. Bring forth what is within you. Do it whether the final product is crap or gold. Do it whether the critics love you or hate you, or whether the critics have never heard of you and perhaps never will hear of you. Do it whether people get it or don't get it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's all just an instinct and an experiment and a mystery. So begin. Begin anywhere, preferably right now. Really cool, huh? This, by the way, is one of the reasons why I went out and got myself an art class. Last but not the least is this book, which is really the book of the century. It's called The Story of My Experiments with Truth, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. It's Mahatma Gandhi's autobiography. It gives you an insight into how he led his life and how he became what he became, this magnanimous, this larger than life figure that we all know of. There are so many things in this books that you don't generally read about Mahatma Gandhi. I mean, we all read books about him, but there are so many little things that he writes. Like, for example, he talks about what his favorite way of keeping fit is, what he eats, and how he believed fasting was the way to heal one's body, and different experiments he did with his diet. It also tells you about his life before he became the Mahatma, and how this simple man rose to this status of being the father of our nation. It's a fascinating read, and everyone should read this book. So those were my top 5 books. I know there was no fiction in there, but I'll do another video for my top 5 fiction books. I don't think if I want to say something else. Have the sales come down?
Drastically dropped.
Yeah.
Walk-ins are low.
But are there still people who prefer coming to bookstores?
Yes. There are still people who come and prefer, like to have the feel of the book, to check up what the synopsis, to see online. You've heard people are, let's buy that, let's buy that. Okay, I'll also buy it, but they don't like it.
Right. And how much discount do you offer?
We offer 15 broadly to anybody.
Throughout?
Whatever you